Hi everyone, many of you know me from TikTok. My name is Lee and this is my channel Overflow. In this channel, I'll be addressing issues that people are too shy to speak about. I speak on behalf of people that are keeping secrets or confessions that are too bitter, shameful, or too embarrassing to speak about. I give advice on situations that I'm able to and leave the rest to you, my viewers, so that you can leave a comment or a word of encouragement to anyone that is struggling in this kind of situations, because I believe that a problem shared is a problem solved. If this sounds like a topic of interest to you, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button below so that you always get updated whenever I upload a new video. Picture yourself as a bishop's wife, a reverend, and a well-respected member of the church that discovers that the bishop has been having affairs with men. On today's episode, we are going to share a very bitter story about a reverend that has been committed to a marriage for more than 15 years and recently discovered that the bishop has been keeping affairs with men. And before we start on this episode, I'd like to urge anyone in any relationship or marriage, if it's not working, it's never that serious. Don't keep a show of a marriage simply because you're scared of what society is going to say about you. Let's read the story. It goes by, "Hello Lee, hide my identity. I need sober advice because I am slowly sinking into alcoholism and depression. I am in my late 40s, married to a well-known bishop for more than 15 years. We have 5 kids together and run a well-established church. We were both raised in church, and that's where we met, dated, had a church wedding, built a life together, had our kids, built a church together. There's a lot we've done in the 15 years of marriage. Of course, we've had our share of ups and downs, but infidelity has never been one of them." The reason why she says that infidelity has never been one of them, she had her own suspicions, but she was not looking in the right direction because she never suspected that the bishop could be having affairs with men. So for her, and investigating and everything, she was more looking into the female side of affairs or cheating. And she says most of our disagreements were about money. He's big on gambling, which I am against because the loss is always huge and we end up recovering the money from the congregation. This is red flag number 1. Money disappearing from accounts with no explanations. And when the reverend confronts the bishop, he says that he's gambling and he's losing. And you later realize that this money was because he was financing other relationships with the men he was having affairs with. And the people that end up suffering this kind of situation, she says, is the congregation. Have you gone to a church where you mnafanya mchango, like not even mchango, sadaka, more than 4 times? There is offering, there is tithing, there is this is money being recovered because there is a gap in the accounts. And in this case, this is what was happening with her. Late last year, I got curious. I am a woman. We are investigators by nature. And when there is a no problem at all, then it's a red flag. It means something bigger is cooking, because 15 years of no scandals is not normal. So I hired a private investigator. I had him followed around, and one of the days he was supposed to be on church mission, touring the country. The man of God never left the city. He was all along with his other woman, or so I thought. Until this point, she had not discovered that the bishop was having affairs with men. She thought it was the women. That's why she says that he never left the city. He was all along with the other woman. I received the full report and video evidence, but I just couldn't gather the courage to confront him or the side chick. So she didn't know until this point that it was a man, because this is the man that he's keeping as a wife is a proper, I don't know how to say the word, but it's the men that dress in wigs and they dress like ladies and they behave like ladies. So for her, even when she received this video evidence and everything, In the pictures and in the videos, she thought she was seeing another woman or a lady. I could not confront him or the side chick because I was in denial. All along, the embarrassment this would bring to us, this would bring to us. What would the church members think of me, the bishop's wife? I don't think anyone would understand unless in my position, and I totally agree with her. Right now, everyone could be telling her, just leave the marriage or talk to the bishop, solve this with the church members or a few elders, but until you are in this kind of situation, you will never actually understand why people still stick around even if things are not very well. Imagine this kind of a person that knows if this goes public, it will be the talk of town, it will be on the TVs, it will be everywhere. There's nowhere for you to hide. Picture yourself in your life that if something like this happens to you and you're not even famous or well known, you will still feel embarrassed to go out there and tell people what happened. So imagine in her position as a reverend, as a bishop's wife, and everyone is looking up to her, that now she has to face everyone and tell her what's been happening in her marriage for whatever period it has been. And I feel so bad, and I condemn anyone that is hiding their sexuality and they're using someone else to cover the whole thing up and to cover society's eyes. That is very selfish. And for this kind of bishop, that you would go ahead and marry someone so that you can cover the society's eyes and then go behind and do your businesses of being with the opposite, I don't know how to say this, like you can be with the same gender or the people that you feel comfortable with in your sexualism, and then you have to tag along a wife so that you can hide behind her. I can imagine 15 years she must be feeling devastated and cheated on and lied to, and there's so many emotions going through in her mind right now, and that's why she says that she has turned into alcohol and she feels like she's depressed. I turned into alcohol. It was the only way I could be at peace. I would go on being the bishop's wife, greeting people at the church, sitting with the man of God, as he goes through the preaching in the church. I have suffered in silence. I look miserable without my acting face. I look depressed. I have even started talking to myself. It gets to the point where this woman is one prayer warrior. She was raised in church. All her life she has been around the church, and all of a sudden now she has become an alcoholism. She is depressed to a point where now she is talking to herself, or she's thinking out loud. She's having too much thoughts inside of her head that they come out from her mouth. This is what she means by talking to myself. So fast forward, I gained the courage to go to the side chick's house. This time, Bishop was out of the country for church mission. I knew it was me and her. So I drank just enough alcohol to bring out the demon in me. I drove myself because I was not ready for the driver to know about this. So I finally went to the door after spending almost 3 hours in the car gathering my courage. And of course drinking, because I now carry my alcohol in water bottles. This is very sad. She has reached to a point where now she carries alcohol in her bag whenever she goes, be it church or in binding her business in the outdoor activities. She has to carry some alcohol to numb her nerves. So in this very suburban estate, by the way, this son of God decided to buy this woman a house using the church money that we make together. Remember when I was talking about gambling, that money would be missing in the account and he would say that he has been gambling? This is what he was doing. He was taking money from the account and spoiling the other woman or buying houses and all. So this is where the money was going. She later discovered that it was never gambling. It was to finance the life of the other woman. And she was very bitter because this is money she has worked as hard as he has. This is money that they have made together. And for anyone that has like a joint account with their spouse, they can understand that if you go to the account and you find that some funds are missing and there's no explanation and nobody asked you when they were withdrawing the money, it's very bitter and it's very hurtful. The church money that we make together, without even considering how many times I have to put on a show. And I can imagine if you are a wife of a big bishop, as she claims, she must have put on shows. Even now she says that now that she's sinking into depression, nobody knows, because every Sunday she appears in church and she's doing praise and worship and she's putting on a show because she's not ready to face this new reality. As a bishop's wife, I have to lead other aspiring bishops' wives and the whole congregation as an example. So back to the story, I ring the bell and my co-wife opens the door. And since I was not going to let any of the drama spill out of the house, I forced myself in and closed the door. I knew she or he had been briefed by the son of Abraham never to let this get out or she would lose all the privileges. So we were both ready to kill each other and bury each other in the backyard without alarming the neighbors. This woman has lots of sense of humor. The way she explains the whole scenario, you can actually picture yourself watching the whole drama unfold. So I lost it, and so only slaps and hair pulling was happening until his wig came off. I think I lost consciousness. So all along, she was not aware that she was confronting another man, and she says that the slaps were flying in the air. You can imagine that kind of fight and hair pulling and everything, until she pulled off the wig and she realized, my God, this is a man. And she says that she lost consciousness. I think everyone in life has had a moment where you can remember a certain events until a certain point, and then you have a blackout, and then you remember the rest of the part. And this happens mostly when people are drunk. And for her, because of this shock, she says that she just lost consciousness for a few seconds. A few minutes. She was confused. She didn't know what was happening. And when I realized he was a man, I just started praying, and I think I started really speaking in tongues. Because how, what, or when? She had so many questions, like, to herself. Like, she could not believe, like, how did this happen? When? How long? She needed answers because she was not sure. Maybe she attacked the wrong person, or she needed to be explained to, am I in the right house? Are you his son? Maybe from before she got married to him, or maybe in the course of the marriage. She was feeling so confused that maybe she was beating up the son of the pastor without knowing. She, even at this point, she still was in denial that he could possibly be the woman in the picture. Like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I had no more energy in me. He went to the kitchen and brought me a glass of water, and all I wanted was a conversation. You move from a point of wanting to fight and kill each other to a point where you want to sit down and have someone explain to you what the hell is happening. She just wanted a conversation. I needed to know when all this started. I had so many unanswered questions. How could all this have happened under my nose without suspecting anything? And she says, to cut the story short, the co-wife dropped me home using my car. He took a taxi back. I was literally paralyzed. But before he left, I asked him to let me be the one to talk to the bishop, which now is the second month since all this happened, and I still can't even look at him. I know the boyfriend told him he's just waiting for me to speak first. I asked him to move to our other home for some time. We still meet in church every Sunday, so I need sober advice before I completely go mad. What should I do? I feel so sad for this Reverend, and I don't know if there is any advice that can be appropriate for her. So for me, what I can tell her is, at this moment, The first step that she has done, which is good and towards the healing, is kicking the bishop out of the house so that she can have a sober mood and be able to have a clear conscience on what she will do in coming days. And I think for her, because she still has to go to church every Sunday to put on a show and to pretend that everything is going on well in the house, I think she should take like a small vacation. Just get out of the country, just go away for a month or two, clear your head, and make the right decision. Decide, you want to get out of the relationship completely, or do you want to be still the reverend's wife in the eyes of society and have your finances in order? Because trust me, I might be the one that you think I'm giving the wrong advice here, but if she has built a life together with this man for more than 15-20 years, there's a lot that needs to be put on paper before she can dissolve the whole thing. Is she ready to go through the whole ridicule, the embarrassment, everything that comes along with getting out of this? She should be prepared for this, and that's why I say that she should take a breather, go away for like 2 months and prepare yourself mentally. If you decide to leave this marriage, there will be a lot of things that will follow, so you will need to go and grow a thick skin, because there's so much coming your way. Just put your accounts in order, because if the church is the only source of income for you, and this is how you have survived before, and this is the only way you know how to minister and all, you need to put your accounts together. I don't know, I am confused in this whole. So these are the kind of stories that you hear and you want to look the other way because they're too embarrassing. And the fact that you guys are the ones that mnashikanishanga watu kwa harusi pale mbele, you're the ones that bring people together in weddings, in the church and all, and now you are on the opposite side of divorce and everything. It's very hard on her, I understand. So guys, that's the story of the Reverend. If you have any words of encouragement, please comment below. Give her sober advice, help her push through this situation, and hopefully she will be able to come out a warrior, and she will not I pray that she will not sink into depression and alcoholism. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, comment below, and hit the notification button so that you always get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for being with me. See you on the next video.